Bellagio. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Bellagio. It's been a bit since we've been here. Of course, we always visit the Bellagio whenever we come to Las Vegas, but it's been a while since we've actually had a room in here. The last time we were in, I believe we were actually in the main tower. This time we are in a spa tower. We are in a Premier 2 Queen, newly renovated. This room looks gorgeous. Now we are on the 29th floor, so we technically are on the floor with all the suites and everything. Beautiful high ceilings. We are unfortunately in one of the smaller rooms though, but that's okay. This room is still really, really gorgeous. I want to show you around and see what you guys think. So as mentioned, newly renovated. You have this beautiful marble tiling, very bright, very white, very just really luxurious looking. I'm very impressed. I like this little spot here too, if you want to sort of throw your keys and things like that there. But yeah, just interesting little layout, nice little art piece there. Let's check out the bathroom. I was really impressed with the bathroom. So with the other rooms that we've stayed in here previously, at least after they did the renovations, they got rid of a lot of the tubs here. So what I really like is that with this particular room, you still have a nice deep soaking tub as well as the separate shower. And the last one, I'll leave a link below for last video that when we stayed here 2 years ago. We unfortunately did not have a tub. They just made one long shower, which I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't a huge fan of. I found myself getting cold in there and just kind of uncomfortable. This is much better. This is, to me, what a nice luxurious room in the Bellagio should look like. You've got, again, very bright, very white, very, silvers and grays and whites, and just a really nice bathroom. I can hear the echo in here. That's when you know you're in a good bathroom. And the amenities they include as well are great too. So you've got your mouthwash, you've got even the dental kit, a shaving kit, things like that are, really kind of set the places like this apart from other basic hotels. You also do have other little things in here, like your Q-tips and, little vanity kits as well that are nice to have. Pretty spacious countertop. You've got the dual vanity, dual sinks. You can, sort of decide who's going to take up which spot, so that way you're not fighting for space, which is nice. You also do have your hair dryer under there as well, if you obviously don't need to bring your own. And a little bit of space for storage and things like that. Now, as well as having some of the stuff you can take, like the soaps and the mouthwashes and stuff like that, you still do have some communal stuff, which, like I said, I have grown to accept as long as it's tamper-proof. Like this shows this sort of tamper-proof side of it. I'm glad to see that. And as long as they keep them refilled. We've been in a couple of rooms where they have not done a good job of that. And, you find out when you're in the shower going to wash your hair and there's no shampoo. So double check before you go to wash your hair or have a shower that those things are filled, because you don't want to be calling down to the front desk when you're naked in the shower. Every day is a school day. Also in the bath area, you do have some other great things in here as well. So you do have what they've included, a little sachet of bath salt, which is nice if you want to, have a little soak. Yeah, I like that they included that. And you also do have a loofah. So you've got it looks like a natural loofah, which I didn't know that these things actually grow like this. They just dry them out and flush the seeds out and stuff. So this looks actually like a natural one, which is kind of cool. Nice setup in there. Let's continue on to the rest of the room. The closet is, decent size. I do like that they have the mirrors, the full size in here as well. So if you do want to check your fit before you're heading out, you do have the full size mirrors here, which is nice. You also have your safe in there built into the wall. I don't love the ones that are built in there. I find sometimes you have to sort of stack things without, to stop them from kind of falling out. And that can be a bit of a challenge in itself. You've got your robes in here as well, which is nice if you're having a nice soak in the tub and you want to kind of just relax in the room. You've got your robes in there. You do have your slippers, Bellagio brand as well, which those ones you can take. The robes do not take the robes, people. But yeah, the slippers that you can take. And you've also got, your ironing board, things like that. Now, this is an adjoining door, which I'm not a fan of. I find that sometimes, depending on how they're made, you can sometimes hear, what's going on next door. It can kind of, especially with a loud neighbor, not my favorite. Hopefully this won't be the case, because it does look like, it's pretty sealed there. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case in here, but we'll see. The space itself, as mentioned, we are in a room with 2 queen beds. The beds at the Bellagio tend to be very, very comfortable, very soft. Haven't slept in this particular one yet, but even just from sitting on it, it feels nice and just plush and just cozy. I do like that they have little benches here if you want to just throw your stuff on here, or put your shoes on or whatever you need to do. Nice that they include that as well. And of course, you've got your little side area here. charge your phone on this, which is nice. You've also got some plugs in there too. So again, just a handy feature to have in the room. We're staying in another hotel earlier and one of my cords stopped working. So it is nice that you can charge your stuff that way. Over here, you have your entertainment, I guess, area. Again, your mini stuff. You've heard me say it time and time again, do not touch the stuff. Very expensive, always overpriced. There are QR codes if you want to scan to see how much things cost. I don't even bother because I know it's going to be wild. But there's some different stuff in here. I see there's some stuff for sleep and immunity and stuff, which is a little bit different. But you've got your love kits, you've got your snacks, things like that. You also have a fridge in here, but again, this is not a mini fridge for you to use, unfortunately. This is going to be a mini fridge with, once again, snacks and things like that for you to throw in there. They actually do include a personal shelf at the top. It is very small. So if you've got some leftovers, if it's a small enough container, you can maybe fit it. But yeah, it's very, very small. So just be careful that you're not moving any of their stuff around because, it is all weighted sensors. You could get charged for that stuff. So just be careful. This tray is nice as well. You've got all your glasses. You got your wine glasses. You got your, just regular glasses if you want to have some libations in the room. You are also very close, I will say, location wise. You do have Planet Hollywood across the street. So you've got a few things here that if you want to grab your own wine or drinks or snacks, I would recommend going to those types of places. Like I said, you got Walgreens, you got ABC's not far, you got a CVS just right by Paris over there as well. So you've got a few things there that you can get your own stuff. Strongly recommend doing it that way. As for the TV, one thing I do love about staying at the Bellagio, so we are big Cosmo fans. We stay at the Cosmopolitan all the time. You get the balconies, you get great views of the fountains. You don't hear the music though. One thing I love about staying at the Bellagio, if you go onto this channel in particular, and this is currently on mute because I'm trying to not get me demonetized here, but this will actually play the music that's going on down there. Even if it's not the actual fountains going on, just to hear the sort of the music that's going on in the other fountains, this will play it. And then once the fountains do start playing, you'll actually be able to, it will sync up and you will hear the song that's playing with the fountains. So that's a great way to, still feel like you're part of the action and to see the fountains from a different angle. Everyone sees them from the street, you get to see them from behind in your room. Speaking of which, as mentioned, we are in a strip view with the Bellagio fountain view. We're in the spa tower, so you do get a bit of a different view, a different perspective, but I actually don't mind it because you still see a little bit of the main tower. I can actually see a bird's eye view of the conservatory, which again, Bellagio is very, very known for their beautiful garden area. But you still get a really fantastic view of the fountains once they start kicking in. For some reason, they're not kicking in yet, so don't know what's going on. Again, unfortunately, we are here during setup for F1, so we are getting a little bit of distraction. We sort of see the Bellagio Fountain Club there where they're setting up the bandstand and stuff like that for F1. So it's a bit of a different view than you would get typically when you're here. If you are going to stay here, if you're going to come to Vegas, I would recommend maybe avoiding most of October and November because you are going to see a lot of setup for F1 and it just kind of looks like a bit of a mess. So that's something I would recommend. We've never done it before. This is our first time doing that and got some regrets. All right, guys, so that's probably going to do it for this room tour here. This is, as mentioned, a newly renovated room. It is so classy. I love the Bellagio. Such an iconic property. Everybody knows it. Whenever, you mention the Vegas, people, automatically think of, Bellagio and the fountains and things like that. So, it's sort of a timeless place to stay. I've stayed here a few times in my day and never get tired of visiting the Bellagio. You're a great location. Everyone kind of considers this to basically be the crown jewel of the strip sort of thing. Like everything sort of revolves around it. When you think of Center Strip, you think of the Bellagio. So you're definitely in a good spot. You also have the tram here, which will take you as far as to Park MGM, which is really, really handy. You're right next to Caesars. You're, again, across the street from the mecca of cheap eats, Planet Hollywood. You do have a lot of great restaurants here, don't get me wrong, but you're gonna pay. There's no cheap eats really here. Everything here is pretty expensive, so just something to keep in mind. If I've missed anything though, if you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, please do not be shy, leave them below. It's really helpful to other travelers. They probably have the same questions that you guys have. It's really helpful for me because any interaction you guys have with my videos, whether you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, it all helps the YouTube algorithm. If you're not subscribed, I see, please consider subscribing to the channel. Totally free for you. Really helps me keep delivering this free content to you. Tons of Vegas content. I'll leave the link below, but check out, I've also got a playlist for Vegas, tons and tons of videos. So make sure you check those out. I'm gonna sit here and wait for these fountains to start. It's been Daniel Spotlight. Viva Las Vegas. We'll see you in the next one.